Adobe Illustrator was originally made to replace a process of cut paper. The look is going to be entirely different than a look from Adobe Photoshop. This is called vector drawing, and the way the vector drawing works is it makes an outside line and it remembers what to fill the outside line with. So it's not going to be as pixelated, it's going to be more graphical. So I'm going to, for my subject, do this seahorse. I'm going to go to Adobe Illustrator, which is on your desktop. I'm going to hit File, New, and there's really not much size option in here. The only option that we're going to worry about for right now for us is it going to be portrait or is it going to be landscape? Since my seahorse is more of an up and down than a right to left, I'm going to go ahead and make it portrait. And then I'm going to paste it. So I now have my seahorse here. And we're not going to learn all these tools. There's plenty of time to learn these things in the high school. We are going to learn how to make our outside lines. We're going to grab our pen tool or the Bezier curve, and I'm going to go and I'm going to turn off the things that make these little green lines. I find them annoying. So under View, I'm going to take off Smart Guides, and I'm going to take off Snap to Point. Now this is going to let me put my lines where I think they should go, not where the computer thinks they should go. I'm going to do Control plus so I can get in a little bit closer, and I'm going to start outlining my thing. Now these are called nodes that I'm putting in here, and the nodes are going to be the points where my lines change. I'm just going to click and let go all the way around. Now very quickly, I'm going to show you this here. You see how that's filling with color? I don't want that. So I'm going to go to this thing right here, and I'm going to click this no or none. But I do want the outside line. So I'm going to choose a color. You can choose any color you want for your outside line. So now I've got my outside line showing up, but it's not filling with color. And I'm going to undo these last two. Oh, but it undid this stuff here too. So let's give it a line. And let's go to here and make it not fill. And now when I continue on, I need to make sure that it's connected to the line. If not, go back, hold the Shift key and click once. And I'm going to go all the way around the outside of my thing. So two things that I want to show you. First of all, you want to be working very close, so very zoomed in. So you use the Control plus to zoom in so you can see where the edge of your object is from the background. Second of all, this is a little quick key. If I want to move around from place to place, I can hold the space bar down and I can move it over. You also can hit Control Z. If you make a mistake, you can go back. And unlike Photoshop, it will give you multiple undos without having to hit Control Alternate Z. So right here, I want you to notice that I accidentally disconnected from the line. And if I continue on, there's a space and this line is off. So I want to undo, and then click on my last node, and then continue on so you can see all of these line nodes are lit up and on. That way I know I'm connected to the same line. And that's important because we need this to be one continuous shape that's going to start and stop in the same place. So now I am right here, and it's important to remember to always get back to the first dot you made. And if you look very closely, maybe if I get in closer, you'll be able to see it better. There's a little circle next to the pen tip there, which is telling me I'm now back to the first one. If I don't do that, then it won't fill with color the way I want it to. Now, if you look quickly, I've got the whole thing outlined. And if I fill it with a color, see if I can do this quickly, you're going to see that this little hole has been covered up here. So I'm going to want to fill that, or to empty that hole. So I'm going to grab my eraser tool, and I'm going to just go right to where that hole is. I'm going to push out to that hole. Then I might get in a little bit closer. And if I grab this convert anchor tool, it should let me move these little nodes. Oops. Move the node around so I can make it a little bit more accurate to the shape that is there. Now I might want to add a node, so I can go to plus add node, click right there, and then go back to my convert tool, and I can pull this one out a little bit more so I can try and make it the shape of the circle. So these are handles, and you're going to learn more about those when you are in the high school. And by doing one dot at a time, I was hoping to avoid the handles, and because I used the eraser, I've got handles in there now. But that's how we're going to make that hole. And I do want to make sure that I've got a color on my path. So now that that is all done, I can start thinking about what colors are going to go on top. So most of my most of my seahorse here is going to be this brownish color. So anything that's not that brownish color, I'm going to want to outline. So say, for example, this orange color here. So I'm going to go back, grab my pen tool, and I'm going to start outlining this orange color right here. And then once this is done, I'm going to layer these brown dots on top of that. Take it all the way back, and then I can start putting, but I need to get in closer because I can't see what I'm doing. This brown dot. Morning. Homeroom is about to begin, so I better get done. So after I've outlined everything, I start from the things in the back and I work to the smallest things in the front. I'm going to color from the front and go to the back. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to fill that with color. And then if I hold down my control key, I can select this one here, and it will fill that with color. And hold down my control key, select there, and it will fill that with color. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to do, but that should give you enough to understand how to outline your whole thing. At the very end, but not before you get permission, we're going to click on the photograph and we're going to delete it, and you'll be left with just your subject. Then you'll go ahead and do the same thing with your background. If you're trying to do a slice of life, you might want to consider making your image in Photoshop first, but if you're just doing a subject and a background, that's not necessary.